When I talk about morning signals, I'm really talking about communication, how your body and brain talk to each other. After 60, that conversation gets quieter. The messages that once shouted, "Wake up, circulate blood, produce energy," now whisper. And if your morning routine doesn't amplify those signals, your body simply doesn't get the memo. Frank learned this firsthand. Remember him? The 68-year-old teacher who thought his mornings were just slowing down with age? Once he stopped reaching for his phone and added those few minutes of light and movement, the change was remarkable. But what really turned things around was when he started sending the right signals to his body, in the right order. That's what I want to share with you now. The first one is sunlight. It may sound simple, but it's powerful. When your eyes and skin are exposed to natural light within the first 5 to 10 minutes of waking, your brain releases a surge of serotonin, the mood and energy hormone. That serotonin later converts to melatonin at night, helping you sleep better. But in the morning, it also triggers a healthy spike in testosterone and nitric oxide. Think of it as nature's switch for vitality. I told Frank, before you do anything else, open your curtains and let the light hit your eyes. Step outside if you can. Even if it's cloudy, the brightness tells your body it's time to activate. He started doing that religiously, and within a week, he told me, "Doc, I feel like my engine's finally warming up again." The second signal is movement. Not exercise, just gentle activation. I teach a technique I call the wake-up flow. Stand tall, roll your shoulders back, stretch your arms toward the ceiling, then rotate your torso side to side. This loosens your spine, gets oxygen flowing, and sends a message to your lower body: circulation time. Frank's wife joined him for those stretches, and she noticed something before he did. His posture changed. He stood taller, breathed deeper, and smiled more. Those are subtle signs that blood flow and hormone balance are improving. The third signal, and this one surprises most people, is breathing. Deep, slow breathing first thing in the morning sends oxygen through your bloodstream, wakes up your nervous system, and lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that can block testosterone. I often tell men, if you start your day breathing like you're in a rush, your body stays in panic mode. But if you breathe like you're calm, your body knows it's safe to function properly. So before breakfast, before scrolling, before sitting down, take a minute to breathe. 4 seconds in, hold for 4, then exhale for 6. Do that 5 times. It's simple, free, and unbelievably effective. Now, why do I call this an emergency notice? Because I've seen too many men treat these early signals as optional. They think, I'll start my day however, it won't matter. But the truth is, the first 10 minutes of your day decide how the next 10 hours will go. Ignore that, and your body slowly forgets how to perform. Honor it, and your body remembers what it's meant to do. Alan, the 72-year-old accountant I mentioned earlier, called me a few months ago just to say thank you. He said, "Doc, I've been doing the sunlight, the stretches, and the breathing for 3 months now. I've lost a few pounds, I sleep better, and I feel alive again." His voice had that spark of confidence most men think they've lost forever. If you're watching this and any of this resonates with you, please tap that like button so more men can find this advice. And in the comments, write yes if you're going to try these morning signals this week, or no if you're not sure yet. I go through every single one of those responses myself, and it helps me craft advice that truly serves you. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, "Dr. Easton, this sounds too simple. Can something as small as light, movement, and breathing really turn things around?" My answer is absolutely. The human body is built to respond to natural rhythms, not chaos. When you align your morning with what your body expects, everything else, energy, confidence, intimacy, starts falling back into place. When Frank came in for his final follow-up, I could see the change in him before he even spoke. His posture was upright, his handshake strong, his eyes bright. He said, "Doc, I finally understand. Mornings aren't just a routine, they're medicine." That's exactly right. And there's one final part to this morning cycle that so many men forget. It's something so small, but it determines whether all the effort you've made, the sunlight, the movement, the breathing, actually lasts. It's hydration and breakfast timing. Now I know that doesn't sound as dramatic as hormones or blood flow, but stay with me. After age 60, your body becomes less sensitive to thirst, meaning you can wake up mildly dehydrated without even realizing it. Dehydration thickens your blood, slows circulation, and makes your heart work harder to pump. That alone can shut down the very system you're trying to revive. I told Frank, before you even think about coffee, drink a full glass of water. Add a pinch of salt or a squeeze of lemon if you like. It helps your cells absorb it better. Within days, he noticed something remarkable. He told me, "Doc, it's the weirdest thing. After that glass of water, I feel alert almost instantly. That's because when you hydrate first, your body wakes up from the inside out." Then comes breakfast. Here's where many men accidentally sabotage themselves. A heavy, sugary breakfast, like toast, cereal, or pancakes, spikes your blood sugar and crashes your energy. It also slows down nitric oxide production, which is essential for healthy circulation. Instead, I tell my patients to keep breakfast light and rich in proteins and healthy fats, eggs, avocado, or even a small portion of nuts. That keeps your hormones balanced and your energy stable. So, let's put it all together. A strong morning after 60 should follow this natural flow. Wake, light, breathe, move, hydrate, and then eat. In that order, your body receives every signal it needs to perform, mentally, physically, and hormonally. Now, why am I emphasizing this so much? Because most men over 60 are unknowingly reversing this order. They wake up dehydrated, sit down, reach for coffee, scroll the news, and maybe eat something sugary. That routine trains their body to slow down instead of activate. And over the months and years, that pattern quietly turns off what should still be firing naturally. But the good news, the beautiful news, is that it's reversible. Just like Frank and Alan, your body can remember. I've seen men who thought their best years were behind them get their vitality, strength, and confidence back, all by reclaiming those first 10 minutes of the day. I want to share something Frank said at the end of our final session. He looked at me and said, "Dr. Easton, you didn't just help me physically. You gave me back something I didn't realize I'd lost. Hope." And that right there is why I make these videos. Because I believe every man over 60 deserves to feel alive again. You've worked hard your whole life. You deserve mornings that give you energy, not take it away. So here's what I want you to do starting tomorrow morning. Before you grab your phone or pour your coffee, take a deep breath and remember this conversation. Step outside for light, move a little, breathe slowly, drink your water, and eat something that fuels your body. Give it 1 week, and I promise you'll start noticing a difference. If this message resonated with you, please tap that like button so more men can find this kind of advice. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and tap the bell icon so you never miss one of these talks. I read your comments personally, so drop a simple yes if you're ready to take back your mornings, or a no if you're still not sure yet. I go through every single one of those responses myself, and it helps me craft advice that truly serves you. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, "Dr. Easton, this sounds too simple. Can something as small as light movement and breathing really turn things around?" My answer is absolutely. The human body is built to respond to natural rhythms, not chaos. When you align your morning with what your body expects, everything else, energy, confidence, intimacy, starts falling back into place. When Frank came in for his final follow-up, I could see the change in him before he even spoke. His posture was upright, his handshake strong, his eyes bright. He said, "Doc, I finally understand. Mornings aren't just a routine. They're medicine." You know, I meet men in their 60s and 70s every single week who tell me the same story. They wake up one morning, realize their body doesn't respond like it used to, and they think, well, I guess that's just age. But here's the truth, and it shocks most of them. What they think is a harmless morning ritual, something they've been doing for years, is actually the silent reason their manhood has gone quiet. I'm Dr. Nolan Easton, and if you're a gentleman over 60, I want you to listen closely. Because this isn't about aging, it's about a habit that's quietly interfering with one of your body's most natural signs of health and vitality. I call it the morning shutdown ritual. And the crazy part is, most men are doing it before they've even had their first cup of coffee. Let me tell you about someone named Frank. He's 68, a retired school teacher from Ohio. Frank came to see me about a year ago, embarrassed and worried. He said, "Doc, it's like my mornings have gone numb. I used to wake up feeling alive, now I just feel off." He blamed stress, poor sleep, even his medication. But after a bit of digging, I asked him a simple question. "What's the first thing you do when you wake up?" Frank looked at me, a little confused, and said, "Well, I grab my phone, check the news, maybe a few emails, then I sit on the edge of the bed for a bit before I get moving." And right there, I had my answer. You see, when you hit your 60s, your body's natural hormonal rhythm becomes delicate. Morning is when testosterone is highest, when blood flow should be most active. But if you start your day sitting, slouching, scrolling, or staring into that blue light, you're triggering a cascade of signals that shut off circulation, not just to your brain, but to your lower regions too. It's like flipping a do not disturb sign on your manhood before the day has even begun. Now, before we go deeper into this, I want to pause for a second. If what I'm saying makes sense to you, if you've noticed your mornings feel different now than they did a decade ago, hit that like button right now. It helps more men like you find this message. And leave me a simple yes or no in the comments. Do you think your morning routine might be hurting your performance? I read those comments myself, and I promise they help me shape future advice for you. All right, back to Frank. After I explained how that small ritual was messing with his body's natural rhythm, he was stunned. We made a few small changes, nothing extreme. He stopped reaching for his phone first thing. Instead, I asked him to open his blinds, take a few deep breaths, and do one simple movement before breakfast. Within 2 weeks, Frank said, "Doc, I'm waking up like I used to. It's like someone flipped the switch back on." That's the power of awareness. Most men don't lose their drive or their morning energy because of age. They lose it because of habits that sabotage their body's natural flow. And I get it. When you've done something for 30 or 40 years, it feels harmless. Checking the news, sitting at the edge of the bed, having a coffee before breakfast, all normal things. But what's happening behind the scenes is that your blood vessels are stiff, your nervous system is still half asleep, and instead of gently activating, your circulation collapses before it even has a chance to wake up. I've seen this pattern so many times that I now call it the silent morning trap. It tricks men into thinking they're just getting older, when really, their body's being trained day after day to turn off its own signals of strength. Frank's story has a happy ending. He made those changes, and now he tells me his mornings are alive again. He even said his wife noticed before he did. That's what I want for you too. Because it's not about vanity, it's about feeling vibrant again, feeling like yourself. So as you listen today, remember, this isn't a warning meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up, literally and figuratively. Because once you understand how these little morning rituals affect your hormones and blood flow, you'll never look at your routine the same way again. And trust me, when you make the right changes, your body will respond. It always does. Even after 60, when I first explained this to Frank, he was skeptical. He said, "Doc, you're telling me that checking my phone in the morning can actually shut down my body's natural response?" And I said, "Frank, it's not just the phone, it's the pattern, the way your body starts the day that sets the tone for everything else." Here's what most men don't realize. Your body is a rhythm-based machine. It's wired to follow patterns of light, movement, and rest. In your 20s, you could abuse that system. Stay up late, skip breakfast, and still wake up strong. But after 60, that system becomes sensitive. Your hormones don't have the same buffer they used to. Every small action in the morning either activates your body or suppresses it. And that's what I call the morning misfire. It's like trying to start your car without turning the key all the way. You hear the engine sputter, but it never fully catches. I remember another patient, Alan, who's 72 and still runs a small accounting business from home. He used to wake up early, grab coffee, and sit right at his desk. He told me, "Doc, I thought I was being productive." But by mid-morning, he'd feel sluggish, irritable, and he noticed something else. His confidence in the bedroom had dropped sharply. When I looked at his daily routine, it was clear he was draining his body's reserves before giving it a chance to even wake up properly. We made one small shift. I asked him to delay his coffee by 30 minutes, open his curtains immediately, and spend 5 minutes doing what I call a wake-up walk. Just a slow lap around the house or a few gentle stretches while breathing deeply. Within 10 days, Alan told me, "Doc, I don't know what happened, but my mornings feel alive again, and I'm noticing changes I didn't expect." This is what I want every man over 60 to understand. You don't have to overhaul your lifestyle or spend thousands on supplements. Sometimes the secret is timing. The first 15 minutes after you wake up can either charge your body's power or switch it off completely. If this is connecting with you, take a second and tap that like button. It tells me this message is helping. And please, leave me a simple yes or no in the comments. Do you think your morning routine might be hurting your performance? I read those comments myself, and I promise they help me shape future advice for you. Now, I want to explain why this morning shutdown hits so hard after 60. You see, when you were younger, your arteries were flexible, your heart pumped with more pressure, and your testosterone flowed freely. But as we age, the inner lining of our blood vessels, something called the endothelium, becomes stiff. It doesn't respond instantly to signals anymore. It needs a nudge. That nudge comes from movement, from sunlight, from breathing deeply. Without those, your brain never sends the signal to release nitric oxide. And without nitric oxide, blood flow, especially down there, stays low. So when you wake up, sit, and start scrolling, you're unintentionally training your body not to send that signal. Over time, it forgets what to do. But here's the beautiful part. The body can remember. I've seen men in their late 70s regain that natural morning vitality just by making small corrections to how they begin the day. I tell my patients all the time, your body isn't broken. It's confused. It just needs the right cue to turn back on. That's exactly what happened with Frank. About 3 weeks after our first appointment, he came back, smiling. He said, "Doc, I didn't think this would work, but I'm waking up stronger, I've got more energy, and I'm not glued to my phone anymore." His wife even started joining him for those few minutes of sunlight and stretching in the mornings. That small ritual brought not only his energy back, but connection, laughter, and confidence too.